Hey everyone, welcome to the AI Design Challenge. It's a series that we're putting on to put some AI generation tools up against each other and see how they do with a very specific design goal. My name is Nils Hanson. I'm a partner at Blueshift and a lifelong designer of physical and digital things.
And I'm Jason Spidle. I'm a partner at Blueshift as well. Also a lifelong designer and a tinkerer with all the tools. So these AI design generation tools are all improving drastically week to week. So I'm excited to see what they can pull off today and see how it compares to what we've got to design.
Great. Thanks, Jason. Why don't you first talk about the tools we're going to use?
Sure. Last episode, we put 3 different tools up against each other. This time we're just doing 2, the top 2 tools from the first episode. So Figma Make, it's Figma's AI generation tool. It uses Claude in the background. And then V0 by Vercel is the other one. It's more of a developer-focused tool, but it's the longest tenured AI generation tool for design. It uses its own custom model for generating UI.
Okay. So what prompt are we going to use today?
Yeah, we'll just walk through the prompt. Everybody's rented a car. Everybody's had to go around that car and record damage. So for this prompt, we want the tools to design a self-contained UI for logging vehicle damage using a line art diagram. So we're going to give it the image itself. It's shown right there. And it's important that obviously the tool uses that image in creating its UI.
So this would really be someone like at the car rental place with an iPad or something, giving it to you and saying, just click if you see any damage. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't get charged for it when you return.
Exactly. So the prompt has a couple additional instructions that we didn't really include last time around the specific design. So we're giving it some colors that we want it to use for different elements of the UI. We're also telling it what to include in the drop-down menus, what kind of hover states to include, and just the interaction that we would expect. So clicking on the car somewhere on the diagram will open up a modal. It'll have an indicator for where you clicked, and you can record whatever it is that the damage is that you see and save it. Beyond that, it's just its own self-contained component. It'd be part of a larger UI, obviously, but we're focusing on this one component. So let's jump over to the tools themselves. So this one's Figma Make. I got the prompt already loaded, the image attached, same thing with V0. So I'm going to go ahead.
And can you just tell everyone why we're using an image?
Yeah, so in this case, we want the diagram that they're clicking on to be an actual car. We don't want the tool to have to generate a car from vector or come up with a car image itself. We want something that was clean.
Yeah, clean with very specific areas where one would
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Like, this is a door. This is a rim.
Right. So I actually took a photograph of my very young car, 2016 VW e-Golf, put it on an iPad and just outlined it basically. So that's what's being used.
Perfect.
So,
well, let's see how it does.
So we'll go ahead and send Figma Make on its way. I'm also going to let V0 get going on its design so that it's ready.
So they have the initial prompt and they're both doing their thing. They're processing the prompt.
Yep. They both do it in pretty similar ways, actually. If we bounce back and forth,
yeah,
almost the same exact interface. On the left is the chat. It shows you the thinking. And in the right, they have abstracted loading screen.
They're so similar, and this is what you run into with AI tools is they all do about the same.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find a winner here. And that's why at Blueshift we do use kind of a variety of tools.
Yeah.
And we don't ever use like the final output as the final design. This is just a tool to get you part of the way. Obviously, these are going to get better over time. But as you can see, it's actually generating code as well, which is interesting.
Oh, V0 looks like they finished first.
Yeah, and this isn't a speed race, but that's interesting to note.
In my experience, Figma Make is one of the slower ones, and presumably it's because of whatever secret sauce they have in the background with
It's thinking more.
Yeah, obviously these things are all using the same frontier models in analyzing the prompt and making its decisions, but then there's additional customization that Vercel does to make these things more effective. So it looks like Figma Make it thought it was done, but then it found an error and it just automatically fixed it for us.
So can you just really quick, what are these creative enhancements that it is suggesting?
Oh, that's a good question.
Creative UX enhancements included.
Yeah, so we did actually in the instruction have at the very end encouraged to propose creative UX enhancements. So it did that. Let's see what they suggested.
Wow.
So animate a badge, that spin.
Oh, okay.
Let's see the spinning, spinning physics, smooth hover tooltips, color-coded states, slide and panel. Let's see what happens. Pretty decent. The hover states are relatively in the right position. The rear door's a little off. It even has, this is the left side of the car, indeed, which is not that hard to figure out, but.
And it did put a roof panel, which I don't even think you'd look at if you're right.
Well, my car's pretty short, so you'd see it.
Okay.
So I clicked the rear left fender, and it has a slide-in drawer for recording the damage. It shows the 3 that I put in there in the prompt. If I select dent, I can say 3 dents, I guess, and I can even upload an image of the car. Look at that. 1 damage entry logged. Pretty nice.
Okay.
I used the colors, it looks like. That's the pink I specified. I assume that's the blue.
I'm all over the layout here. It's no good. But if you look at this little drawer, if you click on that again, look at how there's 0 padding around anything.
Well, this one's weird too because
so
these ones
strange.
are drawers, right? Oh, that one's not a drawer. This one's a drawer. Okay, that one's a drawer. On the top of the car, it's a drawer.
Okay.
On the lower part of the car, it's this modal for some reason.
Well, we got the gist here. I think we have some definite cleanup prompts that we can do here. Do you want to jump over to V0 first to see how that did?
Sure.
And then...
So V0, let's see what... It doesn't brag about its feature enhancements, although it does say it has animated badges with pulse effects. I actually didn't see the spinning badges over on the Figma Make one. Wow, look at the roof.
It's trying.
Does it say hood? Yeah.
Yep.
Where's that? Front fender. Okay. So similar to Figma Make, where when you click on the area that you want to record damage, it just blurs out the whole car.
But this is laid out a little better, right? You have some actual breathing room here.
That's true. Upload doesn't work, but that's okay. There's some real similarities though. Specifically, they have the title and then they have this little pill in both of them. Okay. 2 damage entries logged. Yeah. Well, what should we improve on Figma? Both tools will get 2 additional prompts after the initial prompt to try to make improvements.
Again, like we're not looking for a great UI here because it's just going to take a while. If you look at this, it's very poor design, but I think what we can do is try to contain the clickable area a little bit better based on the car diagram.
Yeah. So I'm going to say use one style of recording damage, modal or slide in drawer. And I'll say give the damage container some space to breathe.
Yeah, just more padding. I think it would recognize padding. And then lastly, is this all considered one prompt? I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Be consistent with, because one of them was a drawer.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said.
Oh, you got that. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say same thing for this. Make the clickable areas more defined.
By defined, you mean like...
Well, that isn't where the front panel is. Just see if it can do a better job of kind of outlining that area, right?
So, yeah. Some of them are okay. Like the hood's pretty good.
The hood isn't bad.
The roof's pretty bad. And...
the doors aren't lined up. So just see what it can do with lining them up a little better.
All right, so Figma finished its improvements. So standardized damage recording style. So let's see if they did that. All right, we get no matter where we click now, we get the little side drawer, but it didn't really give it much
It didn't
padding.
change the UI at all.
Yeah, let's see what it says it did. So increase the padding. It changed it from 6 pixels to 8.
It did.
Increased it by
it's
2
0
pixels.
pixels.
Yeah, even if it...
Well, it is maybe in between like the damage types, but if you can see, it's like stuck up against the side of the drawer, which is very poor.
So one thing you can do with these tools that sometimes useful is just
give it a screenshot, right?
Yeah. So I'm just going to say,
this, and just to be clear, this is the last prompt we can give it.
So we want more padding around here, more padding here. And I realize that people watching can't really see what I'm doing right now since you're only seeing my Chrome browser, but I'll upload this into Chrome and you'll see it. All right, so I've just annotated an image, and we'll see what it does. In the meantime, V0, we asked it to, okay, so it adjusted the SVG paths for the roof, the hood, the front fender.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little better. Where's the roof?
Not great.
Yeah, the roof's more just...
It didn't do a great job of that, but...
All right, so Figma, what you got? So what did it say it did?
Yeah. It's not really listening to us, is it?
No. It claims it did it, but both drawers now have significantly more breathing room. As I said at the beginning, it's sometimes just the way that you word things somehow makes it have a hard time following instructions. Sometimes it's just a total mystery why it does it like that. Maybe we just ask it for some creative new features. Just see what it does.
What would be interesting is just saying start from scratch, and that's its last prompt. See what it does.
I've just asked it to, it's close, but there's still significant issues. So just try a different approach maybe. So it's saying it's thinking of different ones. It actually gave it, 5 different options.
Okay.
Use absolute position, use more sophisticated SVG. HTML area map, that's pretty old school. Canvas-based approach. Break the car. I don't think it's going to break the car into different images, but who knows? Oh yeah, we're done with Figma Make. I'm going to actually get a screenshot of it so that we have something to compare it to when we're done here.
Okay, it's done. V0 is done.
Okay. Let's see. So it rebuilt it with better alignment. So it does seem a little better. What is this? The rear quarter. Front door, front fender, front bumper, hood. The roof is actually, it encompasses the roof this time. Yeah, so I'm going to get screenshots of this one. And then we'll kind of show what we came up with ourselves for this particular design problem.
And maybe talk about like how that process would work with a kind of a live project.
Yeah. You want to start talking about actually while I'm doing this?
Yeah, so what we do at Blueshift when we do use AI enablement is we'll get it to a certain point, and we would generally spend a lot more time, not just 3 prompts, right? We'll get it to a certain point, and then we'll take it, really layer on the branding and really clean up the UX. So again, we're using this as a stepping stone to the final design, just like we would use any other tool, correct?
Yeah, and even before we would be touching these kinds of tools, a lot of the times with our clients, we're going to be doing a lot of whiteboarding and just talking through the problem space, getting a better understanding of what they've already tried. So it's not just throwing a prompt into the AI and seeing what it comes up with.
Okay, so we have Figma Make here on the left, right? Vercel here. And I mean, I'm going to go with Vercel here.
Yeah, I think so
too. It just looks better. And I mean, although the clickable sort of areas are not perfect, they're better defined.
Yep.
And the UI looks way better in Vercel as far as the damage log.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really much better. Yeah, and what do you think about do you have our solution in here?
I do. So I created a little prototype of it so that you could see all the interaction. Obviously with these AI generation tools, one of the really nice perks of it is that you get something that's clickable, something that you can like share a link of and actually use and see the interactions.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to pull that off in Figma, but you can. You just have to create the static screens.
And you would think of this as a wireframe at this point.
Yeah.
This is a wireframe.
Totally. In our solution, there are some similarities, but we have a lot more just UI, I would say. It isn't just a car with a damage report title and nothing else. There's containers for where the damage is going to be listed. There's a row that already has a place for you to record the damage. It doesn't actually open it in a modal. It doesn't open it in a side drawer. You just start adding damage. You click somewhere and you can then record what it is. And you add damage and it's in the damage list now. You've added it. Then you just continue doing that for each one. We didn't ask for this in the prompt, but we included a way to rotate the car so that you can record damage on all the different sides. And we just try to make it something that we're you don't have to go between different interfaces or different screens.
Yeah.
You don't have to bounce around. You're just...
Which, I mean, again, as I mentioned, this would be on an iPad.
Yeah.
For sure. It would hand you an iPad.
Maybe even on your phone. I mean,
maybe even on a
phones
phone,
are big
but
nowadays.
you don't want all this clicking around happening, right? Let's just get to the point. I want to grab my car and get out of there, right?
Yeah. So again, you're here. You're told to click on each point. So you're clicking here. Once you've clicked here, we've skipped some of the interaction here, but you'd click here and then you would select the damage type and the quantity.
Easy.
Damage.
Okay.
And then you hit save damage report. So that's kind of how we approached it.
All right. So these tools definitely have a way to go still, but again, they are just tools. So we don't think of these as like magic.
Right.
Take the human out of the equation, right?
If you're generating a landing page or some really straightforward, like done a million times type UI, a login or password, things that are out of the ordinary or unique to your product, or they're always going to struggle with those because they don't have it in their training and they don't have the creativity that like a senior designer does to come up with new solutions. So.
Okay. Well, awesome. Thanks, Jason. I think this was an interesting test, and everyone will be back soon with episode 3. We'll come up with a new challenge. I think we'll probably use the same 2 tools again, right?
Yeah, I think so. We'll switch it up, and if you've got some tools that you like or that you want to see put up to the challenge, let us know. And if you got ideas for different design challenges, certainly leave a comment.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.